$116 billion. Just let that sink in for a second. That is the staggering paper gain Elon Musk just secured in a single transaction. I mean, it's a number so massive, it almost breaks your brain. But it really raises a massive, unavoidable question for us today. How exactly does a car company justify a valuation that makes a payday like this even possible? Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Because to truly understand that $116 billion figure, we have to look at the fascinating split personality of Tesla right now. On one side, you've got a heavily scrutinized manufacturer dealing with the gritty reality of building physical cars. And on the other, a sky-high tech valuation built entirely on the sci-fi promise of AI and robotics. So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the EV market battle. Second, shifting revenues. Third, the massive AI and robotics pivot. Fourth, the valuation disconnect. And finally, we'll tie the whole shebang together with the Musk factor.
All right, part one, the EV market battle. Let's talk about the cars actually on the ground.
If you follow the financial headlines at all, you've probably seen reports claiming that China's BYD is absolutely crushing Tesla in sales, citing a massive 700,000 deliveries in Q1 of 2026. But hold on a second. That's totally an apples to oranges comparison. BYD's top-line number bundles pure electrics together with plug-in hybrids. Tesla, as we know, only sells pure battery electric vehicles. When you adjust the data to compare pure electrics to pure electrics, the whole picture flips. Tesla actually defended its title, delivering over 358,000 vehicles, compared to BYD's revised 310,000. So that massive gap the media kept talking about, it was actually a much tighter race of just about 48,000 units. Now, yes, Tesla kept the crown in pure electrics. In short, they saw a 6.3% year-over-year growth. But, and it's a big but, they are facing some serious headwinds right now. Deliveries actually dropped over 14% compared to the previous quarter. Add in an earnings miss that wiped out roughly $76 million in expected profits, and it's crystal clear they are feeling the heat of aggressive global price wars. Which brings us to part two, shifting revenue streams. Because it's not just about cars anymore. Now, what's really interesting about this is the growing slice of the pie that literally isn't cars. While automotive sales do still dominate at 73%, their energy and services divisions have swelled to nearly 27%. Tesla's energy storage is breaking deployment records. In fact, their virtual power plant network, which connects over 1 million Powerwalls, recently helped everyday homeowners save over $1 billion on their electric bills. I mean, that is just massive. And hey, where they sell these products is absolutely crucial. Look at the global EV adoption share. The US is surprisingly small at just 6%, while China represents a whopping 61% of the pie. Delivering roughly 1.65 million vehicles annually globally means Tesla isn't just a car company. They are deeply entangled in complex, high-stakes geopolitical rivalries, especially over in China.
Okay, moving on to part three, the AI and robotics pivot. The literal code for the future.
You see, a massive part of Wall Street's bet right now is on full self-driving, specifically version 13. This represents a profound technical leap called end-to-end neural control. Instead of engineers writing thousands of handcrafted rules for every possible driving scenario, a single neural network handles everything: perception, planning, and control. It processes 36 frame per second video at full resolution to navigate complex cities completely without the crutch of high-definition maps that their competitors rely on. However, we really need to ground this AI hype with some cold reality. FSD version 13 requires Tesla's newer AI4 hardware, which leaves millions of owners with older hardware completely stuck and frustrated. On top of that, actual paid adoption across their fleet is sitting at just 12%. And the regulators? Well, they're watching like hawks, intensifying their scrutiny over how the system behaves at red lights. The tech is moving incredibly fast, for sure, but the road to full autonomy is full of potholes. And beyond the self-driving cars, there is Optimus, their humanoid robot. The timeline here is incredibly ambitious. Early in 2026, they unveiled Gen 3, which is a major upgrade designed specifically for mass production. They are targeting production lines to start before the end of 2026, with an eventual, jaw-dropping goal, a capacity of 1 million robots per year.
All right, part four, the valuation disconnect. Let's look at the shocking math here.
$16.31. Now, according to a discounted cash flow model, which is basically a way to project future cash flows and discount them back to today's value,
This right here is the base case intrinsic value of a single share of Tesla stock, based purely on its actual financials.
And this brilliantly illustrates where the math gets totally jarring. That intrinsic cash flow value is roughly $16, right? Yet the stock actively trades at over $400 a share. Even the bullish brokerages cap their targets around 375. That means the stock is operating at a 96% overvaluation compared to its actual cash flow, giving it a $1.5 trillion market cap. Investors simply aren't paying for the cars sold today, they are paying a monumental premium for the sci-fi dominance of tomorrow.
Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, the Musk factor. Control at all costs.
So, how exactly did Elon Musk secure a $116 billion payday without totally crashing his own stock in the process? Well, it was a remarkably calculated move. First, he exercised roughly 304 million stock options. To cover the massive $7.1 billion tax and exercise bill, he used a loophole-like mechanism called net settlement. Tesla simply withheld 17.5 million of his shares to cover the cost. The result? Zero open market sales. Not a single share hit the public market to drag the price down. So he walks away with over 286 million net new shares locked up until 2028. But you know what? The money isn't actually the main point here. The true purpose of this historic event was cementing absolute centralized control. Musk's voting power just increased to nearly 20% of the entire company, ensuring absolutely nobody can take the steering wheel from him during this critical transition into robotics and AI. And that leaves us with this provocative thought, drawn directly from Electric's coverage. With a $1.5 trillion valuation hanging in the balance, a stock completely untethered from its current cash flow, and a future entirely reliant on achieving the seemingly impossible, is Tesla's structure actually built around a sustainable energy mission, or is it now built entirely around keeping one man in control? It's really the ultimate question that will define the world's most valuable automaker. Definitely keep that in mind the next time you see a Tesla on the road or a robot in the news.